Happening right now, testimony underway in the trial of a man accused of fleeing from San Diego police in a stolen truck and then attempting to shoot and kill an officer. It's our top story on the 4. I'm Steve Price in today for Anna Laurel.
I'm Carlo Cicchetto. CBS 8's Kelly Hessedal joins us live from the downtown courthouse. And Kelly, you've been in that courtroom all day. What have you learned?
Well, today prosecutors laid out a lot of evidence against the defendant, 32-year-old J.C. Blake Sartor. They say he has a history of running from authorities. However, his defense attorney claims there's some identity issues in this case and that there's no video evidence proving that his client was the one that pulled the trigger. So here's some of what was said from both sides during opening statements.
Kill or get arrested. Shoot or surrender. Rather than simply pull over and face the music for a relatively low-level felony, the defendant chose instead to try and kill a pursuing San Diego police officer.
Most of the testimony you're going to hear is eyewitness testimony. And I'll submit to you that a lot of this eyewitness testimony is questionable in terms of the circumstances under which it was named. You have a situation where shots were fired. You have a situation where an officer who's new to the job, has been shot. And you have to interpret the reliability of his eyewitness testimony.
Hey, come help me.
And so you saw there body camera footage from the officer who was shot. It was taken 2 years ago, back in June of 2023 in Choyas Creek. Police or prosecutors, that is, say Sartor was in a stolen truck. Officer James Romero tried to pull him over, but he took off. They say Sartor then shot Romero in the arm. Now, after a 6-day manhunt, police arrested Sartor. Again, today prosecutors laid out a lot of evidence. They showed the jury a picture of the weapon they say was used in the shooting. They say it was inside a bag that Sartor was holding when they eventually arrested him. They say Sartor's DNA was found inside the white stolen truck. But one of the key pieces of evidence they talked about were statements that Sartor made while in a jail cell to a man he thought was an inmate, but was actually an undercover agent hired by investigators. Prosecutors say Sartor confessed to everything. Now, the audio isn't great, but prosecutors put a transcript up on the screen for the jury.
10 nerves. I see one's on you already. I see little nerves. Okay, one. And one. On corner. Just to make sure that enough of us.
And Yura is a slang word for police officer in Spanish. You can see they blur the undercover agent in the video, but prosecutors say Sartor told him that if he could take it back, he would have just stayed there, but instead he, quote, finished that expletive off. So back out here live, his defense attorney then said, well, you really can't trust the statements that he made there to that undercover agent because at the time his client was 140 pounds, he was in jail, he was scared, and he seemed to insinuate he just made those statements to seem tough to that inmate so that he wouldn't get hurt while he was in jail. So this trial is expected to last at least a week, and we are expecting to hear from that officer who was shot. He could take the witness stand as early as tomorrow. Stephen Carlo.
Kelly, I want to follow up on that a little bit with the officer. How is he doing now?
Yeah, well, Officer Romero, he was a fairly new officer to the force at the time when he was shot. Unfortunately, the bullet hit the tissue in his arm and went through, so he wasn't seriously hurt from any of this. The prosecution said today that he is back at work, he's back on the force, and fortunately, he is doing okay.
Good news to hear that part of this story. Kelly Hessedal reporting for us. Thanks, Kelly.